If your company has a material impairment of its assets, for example, an impairment of its securities or its goodwill, you need to file a Form 8K with the SEC within 4 business days today on Zippy Point. I'm Brock Romanek, and I'm a big fan of U's. Form 8K under item 2.06 is required when the board, a board committee, or an authorized officer concludes that a material charge for an impairment to the company's assets is required under GAAP. What to disclose? Under item 2.06, there are 3 things: the date of conclusion that impairment has occurred, which also includes a description of the impaired assets and the facts and circumstances leading to the conclusion, an estimate of the impairment charge, and an estimate of the future cash expenditures that will be required by the impairment. As noted in item 2.06, you can file some of these estimates by amendment to the Form 8K if you don't have those numbers when you make the original filing. Trigger dates. This item is novel in that you can push the disclosure off until your next 10Q or next 10K, your next periodic report, pursuant to this instruction to item 2.06. If you're making the conclusion that there's an impairment while you're preparing that report. This CorpFin staff interpretation actually takes that a little bit further and notes that the conclusion can just be coincidental with the company's preparation of the next periodic report. The upshot is that you can forego this 8K and rely on your disclosure in your next periodic report if that's what you want to do. In that next periodic report, the auditors will be doing their thing, applying the accounting pronouncements that relate to impairment and providing disclosure in the financials about the impairment. And then you'll be describing this impairment in the MD&A too. Exhibits. For this type of 8K, there typically are no exhibits. There might be a press release that would be number 99 under exhibit. Exhibits. These 8Ks, when filed under item 2.06, typically don't have any exhibits. If there are any, it would probably be a press release that would be numbered 99 under item 9.01 of the 8K. And let's parse some examples. This 8K was filed when there is an impairment found to be. So let's parse some examples. In this 8K, their company found an impairment when it was selling some assets. So this one included a press release as an exhibit. Here's an example of an 8K that was combined with the item 2.05 restructuring, a material write-off. If you look at my Vid-Guide regarding item 2.05, you'll see that you can delay the 8K until the layoffs are announced to the employees affected. And so that arguably would apply to the 2.06 filing obligation as well. This example talks about the virus and its impact under another item under item 701 of Form 8K. But that's, there's a lot of impairments happening when we had the pandemic. And then this example relates to a merger integration. Again, there's a 2.05 disclosure along with the 2.06.